Nana Pat, I see you. I'm getting everything set up for everyone to come on out and be on garage school today. So get your tape measures ready. Come on and play with me just a little bit. Started the video a little early just to give you all time to go get your tape measures because you're going to need them for today's lesson. Nothing like not being prepared for your work today. So let me get everything set up with the camera. Make sure you can see all the parts of the desk that I need for you to see. Okay. We're here and we are getting ready for garage school. This is a one-woman show, guys. So I'm playing techie and everybody else on this one. Let's see what we can find out. I'm trying to figure out how to watch my own live so that I can actually see what's going on with comments. So let me see what I can do to figure it out. Hey, Deron, how you doing, classmate? Good to see you. I'm getting everything ready right now for this good old garage school. And I'm trying to figure out how I can watch it on both ends, like watch on my computer so I can see your comments easier. And we're gonna get this garage school started at 12:30. So for those of you that have the ability to like share videos and links and stuff like that, go in and get that done now. Call your friends in so that by the time it's time for school to start, everybody can be ready. Let me try to see what time it is right now. So we got 2 minutes before we start garage school. How's everybody feeling out there? Y'all doing okay? You know, we got this coronavirus, but we got some pretty days. If you're in Dallas, Texas, the sun is shining, the grass is green. After I finish garage school today, I'm gonna go out and plant some vegetables in my garden. Invite your friends. Let's have a garage school party. I see you, Becky. Classmates joining. So you know what happened like yesterday? By today, at about 7 o'clock, it looked like there were over 700 people viewed yesterday's video and over 144 comments. So I'm like really pleased. It's like the most super awesome thing because this is what I love to do. I like to make sure that people have information and make sure that I can share it. I see that we have Jessie Irwin. What's going on, Jessie? Oh, I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you. I see Jonathan's on here. I've got Roz Burton coming in. All right, we've got about another, no more minutes left. Guess what? It's time for garage school to start. Boop. If you're not here, that's your tardy bell or ding, 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 ding. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to do a recap from yesterday. Now, what I've been told is that because of the way that Facebook transmits the information, it gives a mirror image. And right now, I just haven't figured out how to overcome that fact. So bear with me while I work out some of these technicals over the next few days. You know, I figured it's more important to have the content than it is to worry about some of the technical things. So we'll get that all figured out. I know that there's lots of smart people out there that can help me with that. So I'm asking that you do that. I got some beautiful comments. I had conversations from all across the country yesterday, people chiming in and saying how impactful the information was. So if you haven't already, get your tape measure out because today we are working with the tape measure. I'll do a quick recap on measurements and we'll go from there. All right, so who was here yesterday? Give me a hand wave. Were you here yesterday? Did you watch the video? Give me some, oh, I see some thumbs up. I see some hearts. That's right. We had some people that were here yesterday. All right. We worked on the measurements of a fraction of an inch and understanding them, going from the 1 inch all the way down to the 0 point. Okay. Using all the fractions. All right. So in yesterday's video, because everything was transposed on Facebook Live, I identified this side as the 0 point and this side as the 1 point. But what I'm going to do so that you all can see it clearly today on the Facebook Live transmission, I'm going to call this the 0, which in my mind is actually 0, and this one is going to be the 1, so that it'll actually look for you and look at you all like the right way. Okay, so this is 0, this is 1. 1. All right, are you all ready? I need to know, what is this? Come on, give me some answers. What is this one for? You know it, you know it, you know it. Chime in, put your answers down. Chime in so I can see you. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Maybe I have to scroll up again. Let's go see what's going on. I'm looking for the answer to this one right here. Give me some answers. Type in your answers. I see your waves. All right, maybe there's a delay, but guess what? You already know it. This is the half mark. So if this is the half, and we're going to do what we did again yesterday, which is double down on that denominator, remembering that this is the quarter, this is the 3/4, doubling down on your denominator again and counting the numerators by odd numbers. We've got the 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, and 7/8 of an inch already handy dandy. The next one we're going to do is going to drop down to those 16ths really fast. Remember, doubling down on the denominator. We went from halves to quarters to 8ths to 16ths. So we have 1/16, 3/16, 5/16, 7/16, 9/16, 11/16, 13/16, and 15/16. Okay, now that we've got our review in, we're ready to go. All right. So today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for measuring with a tape measure. And I've brought several tape measures out. Some of these tape measures are kind of new. Some of them I've had for years, but I brought out different tape measures for you all to like see what I work with on a daily basis. I'll scoot this over here for now, and we'll come back and revisit that later if we need to. All right, so as you can see, I've pulled out several different types of tape measures. Now, I think I actually got this out of my daddy's toolbox many moons ago. He hasn't asked for it back. It's a 20-foot tape measure, all right? And it has very few elaborate markings on it, okay? It's not all colorful and bright. It's just all one color with the markings. But each of the markings means something very specific. Now, this tape measure right here is by Pittsburgh. This one's a little bit newer. If you can see it, you can see that there are the actual notations measuring down to the fractions of an inch all the way to the 1/8 of the inch, and it actually shows it to you on the tape measure. Now, this is really handy dandy for those of you that are not accustomed to measuring, but for me, they just get in the way. But you also see with this tape measure that you have markings that are in red. So what they've done is anything over 12 inches, they start to denote by using the foot and inch mark, so that you also know that 1 foot 1 inch is represented by the number 13. 1 foot 2 inch is got the number 14, so forth and so on, all the way up the tape measure. Okay, you guys see that? Want to make sure you can see it and see it clearly. All right. Now, something also interesting happens on this tape measure, which happens on a lot of other tape measures, is that every time a foot is denoted, you see that right there? 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. You see that those numbers are written in black, and that's so that it makes it easier to identify the feet as opposed to just identifying the inches. If someone is not accustomed to counting by 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, and so forth and so on, counting up the tape measure, and you're not accustomed to doing that on a daily basis, then that's why it's really nice to have a tape measure that actually identifies the feet and actually identifies the inches. So it makes things just a little bit easier for you when you're doing your measurements. All right, next tape measure that I have with me is going to be by Craftsman. Now this is actually a brand new tape measure. This is a tape measure that I won when I was on Shop Class on Disney Plus. We got prizes for being on the show, and this is one of my prizes. You see, I haven't even taken it out of the carton just yet because I'm just like still salivating over the fact that I won this tape measure and many other prizes on Disney Plus. I'll show them to you along the way because I'm going to be using them in my lessons. So this one's by Craftsman, and you can see that what they've done is once you get to the 1 foot mark, you notice that the numbers go bolder. You see, we have that 16 is all bright and red. What's that for? Has anybody ever hung a television or a picture in your home and you put the little nail in, dot, 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 and then you notice that the nail gets a little too loose? Well, it's only because it's sheetrock right there. 16 inches on center denotes where your studs are gonna go behind your wall. So if you're looking to make sure that something is secure on your wall without having to use an anchor bolt or a toggle bolt, we'll go over those things a little bit later, then you're gonna wanna make sure that you hit a stud. The easiest way to find a stud is to know that they are measured 16 inches on center, which is really, really easy to find with this tape measure. You see that? So you can count by 16s. Super duper easy. See, there was 16 down there, 32, 48, 64, 80. And you can go on and on and on measuring with your tape measure by doing that. Okay, so now that you know some common markings on the tape measure, let me let you know some that are less known, less common. All right. Now, I don't know how many of you all have ever picked up a tape measure and you notice that the end tab is just a little bit wiggly. Has anyone ever noticed that? Oh yeah, I see some thumbs up on that one. Give me some more thumbs up. I need some more reactions. Do you all want to know why this is wiggly? Do you know that your tape measure is not broken? This actually has a very specific purpose. And the very specific purpose is to allow you to have the distance of the width of that of the hook on the tape measure. It allows for your tape measure to move so that if you're doing an outside measurement, it pulls it out. If you're doing an inside measurement, this is calculated inside of the length of your measurement. All right, so I brought one of my favorite people along with me today to show you how to measure the inside with your tape measure, because, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, then you don't know how to do it right. So this right here, this is one of my favorite people. This is my first husband in my mind, Muhammad Ali. I met him when I was about 6 years old. He looked at me with the most stargazy eyes. I love this man. I love what he represents, and I love everything about him. All right, so if you're gonna do a measurement, and you're gonna do an exterior measurement, meaning you're gonna measure the outside of something, you're gonna measure by putting your hook on the outside, streaming it across, and then reading the measurement. For this measurement, we're actually measuring 12 inches, which is the same as 1 foot, okay? Now, that's not so bad. Pretty easy. If we're gonna measure from here to here, just to see how long it is from here to here, I have 14 inches and 1/16. 14 and 1/16 inch. Let me see if you guys can see that. Let's see if I can do a pretty decent job of showing you that. Can you see that? I hope you can. It's really small, but I hope you can see it. All right, now, this is something that I've noticed as a common mistake when people are doing interior measurements. They take the tape measure, they put it inside, and they take it and they try to bend it and contort it and say, oh, that looks like it's about 7.5. Well, if you were to cut something to go inside of here, that 7.5 wouldn't be right. on the back of all the tape measures, every single tape measure that I've ever seen, on the back, there's a little number. The back of this tape measure has the number 3 inches or 76 millimeters. Can you see that? That's because the length of this tape measure is 3 inches. So you add the length of the tape measure to the measurement so that you can get that internal measurement right here. So now when I go to measure it, I'm measuring this at 4 inches, and we've got our halves, we've got our 7. It looks like this is 4 3/4 inch from the vantage point that I'm looking from, okay? So I've got 4 3/4 inch. To that, I add that extra 3. So instead of it being 4 3/4 inch, it is 7 3/4 inch, and that will give you the interior measurement, because the little tab goes in when you're measuring inside, and it pulls out when you're doing an outside measurement. Who knew that? Give me some hands. Let me know that you know. Let me know that you know. Hey, Sandra. Sandra called me yesterday from Detroit, Michigan. She's a 4th grade teacher and told me that my lesson yesterday was really impactful because it gave her another way to express this same lesson. So I'm really glad that you all gave me that feedback. All right, so here's another thing to know about the tape measure. There are several tips and tricks that you can do with the tape measure. All right, you want to see one? I'll show you. I'm going to take my Muhammad. Take my Muhammad. I'm going to put him aside for now. He's going to watch the show, okay? Because Muhammad Ali, rest in peace, still loves the Girly Shop teacher. All right. So I'm going to use, let's see, which one do I want to use so that you all can see it the best? I think I'll use this tape measure, my new one from Disney. All right. Have you ever been working on a project and you needed to cut something exactly in half? Anybody? And you're trying to figure out quickly what is the half point. Well, there's a really simple way to do that using your tape measure. All you have to do is fold the tip of the tape measure back to the number that you're measuring. So let's say, for instance, you know that I already measured, let's say I measured something that was 32 inches long, okay? I'm gonna take the tape measure. You see the 32 inches right there? I'm gonna fold the tape measure back to the number 32. Can you see that? And if you look right up dead in the center, what number do you see? Tell me the number you see. It's right under my lips. Mwah, I'm kissing it. Mwah. Right there. You know what that is? That's the number 16, because half of 32 is 16. You can do that with your tape measure for all lengths. Let's say I wanted to measure something and it was 31. Now you can take your time and you can do your math, or you can fold your tape measure and you see that? You see that 16.5 of an inch falling right there in the center, right by my nose? That's it right there. Wiggle your nose on that 16 3/4. I'm sorry, 16.5. It's right there. That's another tip that you can use when you're working with your tape measure. All right, now, sometimes you may have noticed that on most tape measures, there's a little divot right here. Manufacturers of tape measures figure out ways that they can make using tape measures easier. You see this one has it too? And this one's a little bit bent. I don't know why it's bent, but I know I've had it for a long time. See, look, this one has it too. You see that little divot right there? Bing, bing, bing. These little divots have a very, very, very special purpose. See that right there? Okay, I'll show you what it is. Let's say you're measuring something and it's pretty far away, but you have a screw available, okay? You're able to hook on that screw, and you're able to take your tape measure and hold it onto that screw without it letting go, all right? This also helps if you're going to draw a circle and you need a pivot point. So if we wanted to draw a circle, we could take it and we could pivot, pivot, pivot. See that? That's what the little hook is for on your tape measure. Now, there's a couple more markings on the tape measure that I haven't discussed yet. One of the other markings on the tape measure, it falls in what looks like a really, really peculiar place. if you open up your tape measure, you'll see that there is typically a little black diamond right around the 19 3/8 of an inch mark. Can you see it? You see it? 19 3/8 of an inch. There's a little bitty small diamond there. All right, the reason that that diamond is there is because when products started becoming manufactured, such as steel beams, their tensile level was much more durable than just a normal standard piece of wood. So the necessity for spacing, instead of being 16 inches on center for strength, is now 19.2 inches on center, or 19 3/8 of an inch. All right, so that's why that is sitting there. All right, and there's an actual diamond on the tape measure every time you get to that point. You see that one right there? Okay, where is that? Can somebody give me the measurement on it? Let's see who's listening. You see the diamond? It comes after 38, but before 38.5. Where does it fall? Tell me what it is. Tell me where it is. Hey, Steve Reinhardt, I see you. I see you. Remember, while you're watching this video, make sure that you're also going to girlyshopteacher.com for more content on Girly Shop Teacher. Make sure that when you go to Facebook and you watch this on Facebook, you like, you subscribe, and you share. Do the same thing on, what is that? Instagram under Girly Shop Teacher. Do it on TikTok. I've got lots of silly TikTok videos sitting out there for little kids where I do silly dancing and junk with tools. Everything's safe because we don't want to be sorry. We'll get into safety lessons later. So you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, as well as on YouTube. When you get to YouTube, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share. All right, if you're gonna share this video, do me a favor, share it off of the Facebook, I'm sorry, share it off of the YouTube platform profile, all right? Because that way it reaches far more people and it's easier for them to share. So since you're my audience right here, make sure that you do that, all right? Because I'm gonna be putting up more impactful videos coming very soon. All right, so now you know yesterday when we were going over our lessons, I gave you some things that you can do at home with your kids, just with pencil and paper, just to make sure that they know how to use proper measurements. All right, so today is gonna be very similar. Let me grab a sheet of paper and let me show you how it's gonna be done. All right, so now, yesterday we did the folding paper process of understanding fractions of an inch. Today, we're just gonna draw a couple of lines, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a semi-straight line, because when you're working with young children, straight is not necessarily what you really need to worry about. You just want them to do and be engaged. It's far important, more important than they're engaged than that they're discouraged because they've done something that you think is wrong. All right, so I started off with just a line going across the bottom. All right, I'm gonna make 2 dots, one here and one here, that almost line up with these lines here on the side. So one's gonna represent my 0 mark, and the other one is going to represent my 1. That's pretty easy, right? Or as you're seeing it, that would be 0 and that would be 1. All right, now I'm gonna drop my straight edge down to about the midway point, and in the middle of this line here, I'm gonna make another dot. It does not have to be exact. It can be close. It doesn't have to be specific. All we want is for the young person that is learning how to do this to have the idea. So now we have our 0 mark here. I'm gonna do it transposed so that you can see we have our 0 mark here, we have our 1 inch mark, and we have our 1/2 inch. Easy, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna go about halfway down that particular mark, and I'm gonna make 2 dots at approximately halfway in between each of these line segments. Who can tell me what these are? What am I measuring out right now? Somebody give me an answer. I know you're tuning in. I know you're tuning in. I know you are. Because you've got your 0, you've got your 1, you've got your half. So what's this one? Who's got the answer for me? Let's see what I can find out. Let me scroll this up. Somebody has an answer. Somebody knows this. This is the recap. This is the 1/4, and this is going to be the 3/4. All right. Dropping down about halfway down the 1/4 line, we're going to make dots in between, halfway in between each of these. So you know what these are. These are super easy to learn. Let's see. Kind of want this to be a little bit straight, so I'm going to use the straight edge. 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, and lastly we have what? 7/8. We're just going over the same old lesson, just with a little twist today. All right, now let's drop down to the 16th. So we're going to measure about halfway down these lines. Put our little dots in. Doop, 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 doop. And you can see I estimated. I did not worry about being super exact because it is the idea that I want, not necessarily to frustrate a young child on being so staunch in the actual neatness of it. Because what we want to do is we want to encourage while we are homeschooling or garage schooling versus discourage. All right? So now all of these are measured down to the 16th of an inch. See, it's the same thing as this model right here, all the way down to the 16th of an inch. All right, so we have 1/16, 3/16, 5/16, 7/16, 9/16, 11/16, 13/16, and 15/16. It's pretty simple. If you want to add a little bit more detail to it, drop it down just a little bit further, okay? And these become our 32nds of an inch. You see that? See how easy that is? And once you begin to draw it out, you'll start to understand it a whole lot easier when you're actually doing it for yourself. So now we're going to count by 30 seconds. 1 30-second, 3 30-second, 5 30-second, 7 30-second, 9 30-second, 11 30-second, 13 30-second, 15 30-second, 17 30-second, 19 30-second, 21 30-second, 23 30-second, 25 30-second, 27 30-second, 27 30-second, 29 30-second. I'm sorry, I missed one. 29 30-second, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? 29 30-second, 31 30-second, and there we go to the end. All right, hadn't done 30 seconds in a while, but that's okay. You guys will make sure that I am well versed on this. So you see how quick and easy it is to make the measurements, to understand how to do the fractions of an inch with a little sheet of paper right there in your home with your kids, and this is how you do the fractions of an inch. All right, so how was that for an easy lesson today on Garage School? Somebody give me a time check. Let's see what time it is today. We have been here for just about 25 minutes. Same amount of time as last time. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll stay on for just a few more minutes. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go on and type them in the comment section. I'll hang out for about 5 or 10 more minutes and answer those questions for you. I hope that this information was helpful. Please remember to do me a favor. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to Girly Shop Teacher on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. It's very important that we share this information while we are sitting in the coronavirus jail, sequestered in our homes, and making sure that we are quarantining ourselves so that we can make sure that everyone stays safe and healthy during this time. If you like these videos, just do that for me, okay? I'll be adding more content to Facebook. Go on and tweet this information out. On Twitter, my handle is Girly Shop Teacher. The teacher does not have any vowels, so it's Girly, G-I-R-L-Y, Shop, S-H-O-P, Teacher, T-C-H-R. Girly Shop Teacher on Twitter. My handle for TikTok, Girly Shop Teacher. My handle for Instagram is also Girly Shop Teacher. All right, anybody have any comments? Tell me what you want to know. Homeschool tips and tricks. All right, for those of you that missed yesterday, go back and watch yesterday's video. I give some information. I homeschooled my 3 sons for 10 years. I have 2 sons in college right now that are doing very well. I have 1 son that is in high school that is doing very well as well. And after I homeschooled for 10 years, I went on and became a teacher, a nationally certified building trades instructor through National Centers for Construction Education and Research. And I also got my certification to be a Texas Education Association teacher. So TEA certified, NCCER certified, Howard University alumni, HU, you know, this is what we do. All right, I am a product of the Dallas Public School System and the Detroit Public School System. So those 2 school systems are near and dear to my heart. I had some of the best teachers that I can ever think of. I thank them gratefully for all of the things that they did in order to make sure I had my lessons. You know, I had one teacher, I used to call her Mean Ernestine, because she was like a tyrant. But I actually developed a love for opera because of her role in Porgy and Bess. So, you know, you wind up learning things from teachers when you least expect it. So thank you, Mrs. Ernestine, for teaching us these lessons while we were in school. All right, anybody else have any questions or comments? Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. I want a cap and a shirt. Are they still available? Yes, they are. We have caps and shirts still available. I will make sure that I get one to you, Nana Pat. All right. What else? We have any more questions? Who's still there? Who's sharing this video? Who thinks that this is important information? Give me a hand wave. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure that your friends are sharing it with like 3 or 4 of their friends. All right, yesterday our numbers were like pretty stellar. That's why I'm back here today. I couldn't even really sleep last night because I was so excited about the numbers like raising up. I already have like the next 3 days lessons planned, and I don't even like lesson planning, but I'm excited about being able to share this information with you. Last night, before I went to bed, over 500 people had watched the videos. Right before I jumped on today to do this live, over 700 people had watched the video. And I had over 144 comments. So that lets me know that this information is impactful to you. I'm here and available. We've got all this wonderful time we get to spend with our kids. My kid and I are getting ready to do a little bit of gardening today. I don't know if he's gonna really like that, but he'll eat the vegetables later, so it'll be fine. All right, until next time, thank you for coming to Garage School with the Girly Shop Teacher. Hey, catch me on Disney Plus. You can stream it live. I'm on episode number 3 on Disney Plus. I made a really fun project with 2 amazing and incredible kids. Everyone that I worked with on the Disney project, the producers, the directors, everyone was like top-notch, awesome to work with. So thank you, Disney Plus, for giving me that opportunity. I really love you. And hats off to Duluth Trading Company. You see my little nifty head wrap? This is by Duluth, and it's stretchy, so I can pull it down over my face when I'm ready to go. All right, until next time. See you later. Bye. I learned how to turn this thing off yesterday.